Alright, I didn't really want to revisit the whole Age of Scorpius thing. However, at this point, it feels less like a book project and more like this multimedia vanity project than a novel. Doesn't even exist in the way people were promised, but here we are again, and well, because Audra Winter just put an update on her Patreon, and the update is messy. So let's break it down. Welcome to this episode of The Bald Book Geek. I hope you guys like it. My name is Darv James. Like, sub, and do the usual. And if you want to support this weird little corner of the internet, check out Substack, Patreon, and YouTube channel memberships. Let's get on with it. So let's break it down, because if you don't know how not to handle criticism as a writer, this is basically a study case at this point. The post itself came from Elrose, the person managing the Patreon. Just saying that sentence again. A writer, a debut indie, has a team. There's so many red flags. Managing the Patreon. Where is this money coming from? And to sum it all up, by the way, for 10 people who are actually paying, by the way, because that's, yeah. To sum it all up, it's basically an announcement they'll be no longer accepting critiques or feedback on the Patreon page, period. Now, on paper, that doesn't sound terrible, right? Nobody likes getting spammed with endless scroll of, you could change this, or I don't like this character's hair colour, but the way this post is written, it's sharp, it's defensive, and the subtext screams louder than the actual words. Here's the gist of it all. The comments section has turned into a public critique workshop. From now on, unsolicited advice or critique will be deleted. Repeat offenders will be banned. Beta readers will be chosen eventually, but only from the Patreon pool. Now let's stop here for a second. On one hand, yes, creators do not need to be bombarded. Absolutely. But the way the whole thing is framed, it doesn't sound like boundaries, it sounds like building a hug circle. So when you say, this is going to be a space for discussion and appreciation, that's basically code for, tell me how amazing I am, and if you don't, you're out. And that's right there, the red flag. Because if you're only surrounding yourself with people who clap and cheer like seals, you're not growing, you're not improving, you're just feeding your own ego. And it gets worse. Beta readers will be chosen from paying fans. That means, if you want a shot at giving feedback, first you have to pledge money to the project. Think about that. You're financially buying into something, and then if you're lucky, you get to read it early and give it feedback. That's not how professional publishing works, both trad or indie. That's not even a fan fiction community thing. It doesn't work that way. Imagine a restaurant saying only diners who give us 5 stars on Yelp get to taste the next menu. That's not feedback, that's curated praise. And then, this is especially concerning when you consider that the first edition of The Age of Scorpius was, not well received. Well, that's putting it mildly, like it had serious problems. Instead of confronting that honestly, and instead of saying we need more outside eyes, we need harsher edits, the situation is now walled off critique and only take input from the most financially loyal fans. All 10 of them. That's not building a better book. That's building an echo chamber. Let me ask you guys, would you trust the quality of a book that's only got feedback from people already financially invested in saying nice things about it? Doesn't that sound a little bit off? And here's the thing. Every writer, no matter how talented, needs honest critique. It's painful, it stings, it's how you grow. Professional authors deal with editors, screenwriters get script notes, even musicians have producers telling them, hey, this track isn't working. But what's happening here is the exact opposite, in my opinion. We'll only listen when we've chosen to, and only people already giving us money. That's not feedback, that's marketing. And honestly, the whole Audra Winter situation is drifting dangerously close to low-cow territory. You know, low-cows, when someone becomes more famous for the drama surrounding them than the actual work they're making. The memes, the internet ridicule. it becomes bigger than the book, and I don't say that lightly, but the way this is being handled is starting to look less like publishing and more like bad performance art, something you would see at Lilith Fair. And look, I don't think this statement is completely bad. I get the desire for peace and quiet. I get the burnout from constant critique. But the way it's been framed, sharp, pointy, and defensive, it reads less like professional boundaries and more like I can't handle being told I'm wrong. And when you combine that with like paywalling updates, paywalling access, paywalling stuff for 10 people, by the way, just reminder, 10 paying people. Yikes. Even the chance to beta read, you've got a situation that from the outside looks like it's all about money and control. So here's a big question. At this point, is it really about the book anymore, or is it about the spectacle? Because when you say this is going to be a space for discussion and appreciation, what you're really saying is, I don't want reality, I want applause. It's ridiculous. So yeah, I didn't want to revisit this mess, but here we are. The Age of Scorpius project isn't just a red flag anymore, it's a whole parade of them. And for a debut novel, this is about as bad as it gets. Sinking money into endless managers and teams and multimedia projects and trying to get investors for 70k. It's the perfect example of what not to do as a writer. Don't build a bubble. Don't silence critique. Don't surround yourself with yes people. And definitely don't make your paying fans your only quality control. Because if you do that, you're not writing a book, you're just building an echo chamber. And the echo chamber doesn't last. But hey, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe this is a genius move. Maybe I'll be eating my words at some point or another. Maybe when the Age of Scorpius revised edition 2.57 million comes out as a masterpiece. I doubt it though. So what do you think? Is this a healthy boundary or a slow motion crash of a project that's never going to work? Drop your thoughts down below, I want to hear them. And while you're here, you know the drill. Hit subscribe, check out memberships, Patreon, Substack for all the good stuff. The difference is, at least when you support me, you actually get honesty in return. And a little bit of my broken brain. So, yay. Anyway, I'll leave this here. Talk to you guys soon.